Hey guys, Mr. G again. Hope everybody's made it through the first week okay. So today we're doing day 5 of minerals. So what we're doing today will be on your quiz today. So you need to make sure you watch this video first before you take the quiz. That information will be written down as part of the instructions for this video. In addition, Mrs. G is going to be doing a little bit more in depth. So yesterday we did luster. Today we're going to do something called fracture and cleavage. She's going to do a little bit more in depth. She's going to do an additional video where she's going to do all this stuff and she's going to show you actual examples. It'll be short, but it'll actually be with showing you some samples. I actually managed to get into work today and grab a couple of samples to show you guys. So make sure you watch both videos. You watch this one, and then that one's going to be called supplemental. It just means it's an additional video. You have a quiz today. Make sure that you do it after you complete that. That will be the work for today. All right, guys? Good luck on the quiz. See you on Monday. All right, guys. So the next properties that we're going to talk about are cleavage and fracture. Now, these are two really important properties for telling minerals apart. If you look in the third column where all the checks are, you'll see some of the checks are where it says cleavage and some of the checks are where it says fracture. So when we do identification, it's going to be really important that you know which one is which so that you can understand what's going on. All right, so the first property we're going to talk about is called cleavage. Cleavage is an object's tendency to break the same way every single time. So in the video that you see above you right now, you're actually going to see somebody breaking a sample of a mineral called calcite. And you can see that it breaks in these same flat angles. It always breaks in this same rectangular prism shape. No matter how many times he hits it, you see the pieces just keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller, but the faces along where it breaks are always exactly the same. So as you guys can see in the picture above, cleavage can actually happen in a bunch of different ways. You can have cleavage in one direction, which is what you see at the top of the picture, and that basically means that when you break your mineral, it's going to break into these flat sheets. Okay, you can have cleavage in two directions, which basically means you break at like right angles. Okay, and you tend to make like rectangular prisms, and you can have cleavage in 3 directions or 8 directions, in which case you make these geometric shapes. The big thing you're looking for in cleavage is that you have nice sharp angles that you are breaking at. We will give you examples of these in a little bit more specific detail in the supplemental video, which Miss G is recording right now. So there's another way that a rock can break when you strike it, and that's called fracture. And fracture is when a rock breaks unevenly. And this usually happens because the rock has so many really strong bonds in it, covalent bonds, that it doesn't easily break the way that you want it to break. So, like you see in the picture above, it kind of makes this nested or curved appearance. And in the video that you're watching, you can see a gentleman breaking a sample of a mineral, and you can see how the inside kind of has this curved appearance, kind of looks like glassy, and if you look underneath his hand, you see the little shards and pieces of material that are there. This is fracture. So guys, the next property we're going to talk about is streak. Streak is the color of a mineral in its powdered form. We usually get this by taking our mineral and scratching it along what we call a streak plate. A streak plate is usually a piece of porcelain tile. Now, you can see in the picture above 2 porcelain tiles with 2 minerals on them. One's a white porcelain tile with kind of a yellowish goldish mineral, and the other one's got that reddish mineral on the black streak plate. When you rub these on, sometimes minerals will have streaks that are the same color as them. But usually streaks that are different are actually really good for identifying it. So for example, if you look at the one on the left-hand side, you have the white streak plate. You see how that mineral, even though it's yellowish in color, leaves a very dark black streak. This is how we can identify this mineral as being iron pyrite. You know, iron pyrite is one that we've talked about a lot. It's fool's gold. So one of the ways to tell gold from fool's gold is to use a streak plate. Prospectors used to carry little pieces of porcelain around with them, and when they thought they found gold, they'd take it and they'd see if it made a mark. If it didn't make a mark, it was gold. If it made this black greasy mark, it was iron pyrite, and they could throw it away and didn't have to worry about it. Sometimes you have to use a darker streak plate, particularly if your streak is white or colorless, okay? And you can see that in the picture on the right. Now, on the Regents, you probably won't have a black streak plate, but you will have a white streak plate. When you want to identify a mineral, usually you identify it by its color of its streak, whether it has a color or is white or colorless. You can see that on the reference table page that's up on your screen at this time. You can see the column where it says properties, unique properties, and sometimes it says the color of the streak there.
This is a really, really useful property.
All right, guys, so that's enough for today. On Monday, we will have the remaining properties. So make sure you watch the supplemental videos and make sure that you do the quiz that is on Test Wizard as soon as you finish watching those videos. That quiz is your assignment for today. Have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.